Back at the reservation on the campus at Socastee High School. Alan Smothers, Andy Lanier, Howard Henry with you as we count you down to kickoff. The captains are meeting at midfield as we speak to determine who will win any coin toss and elect to either receive the opening kickoff or defer the decision to the second half. The Hartsville Red Foxes top players Shy Phillips, Daquan Reddick, and Shy McPhail are captains for Hartsville. For Socastee, of course, Hunter Renfro, Garrett Melton, Daquan Bowers, and it looks like our good friend Joe Smolinski. And Socastee won the toss and elected to receive the opening kickoff. Is that correct, gentlemen?
Yeah.
Thank you, Howard. The Braves are dressed in black with white numerals and trim tonight. The black helmets and the white breeches. For the Hartsville Red Foxes, they have the black pants with white jerseys, red ink, black trim, and the black helmets this evening. The Braves will receive the opening kickoff as Hartsville will kick it off from right to left, and the Braves will start with Hunter Renfro under center. Behind him will be Kyle Smith, Delano Walters with 1,379 yards on the year, the top rusher for the Braves, and Buck Bako will be your running backs for the Braves, the wing backs, if you will. The split end is Steven Gursky, the tight end is Max Joseph, and across the front line we've got new offensive linemen this week. Kyle Burton, Richard Cherry, Tevin Ferreras, Kevin Taylor, and Brent Towery are your offensive linemen from left to right. For Hartsville, they run a 3-4 defense. Deshaun Reddick, your Shrine Bowl defensive end, 6'4", 250 pounds. The nose guard is Ethan Pate, and the drop end is Dwayne McDaniel. The linebackers on the outside are Laquan Hagler and Ray Coe. On the inside, Eddie Martin and Datavius Wilson. The corners are Raekwon Cotton and Shy Phillips, the Shrine Bowl participant, and the free safety, North-South All-Star Dontwez Rogers and Jalik Addison. The Braves have just entered the field. Hartsville is already on the pitch and ready to kick it away. And Socastee at 11-0 off a win over Hilton Head last Friday night, 31-6. And the Red Foxes at 10-1 off a win over Midland Valley last Friday night, 24-0. These two teams met in the third round of the 3A playoffs last year. Hartsville, a 40-13 winner in the lower state semifinals, would go on to win the state championship over Union County. And Hartsville is going to kick it off from left to right. They are over the football and ready to boot it away. And back to receive the kick for the Braves are Delano Walters and Steven Gursky. The officials are holding play up at this point, waiting to get ready for the kick. Ladies, y'all need to move on out of here. Move on out. Thank you. And here's the kick. It is high and short. We are underway in the state playoffs. It's brought down around the 20-yard line. Socastee, it looks like Kyle Smith received the opening kickoff and brought it out across the 30, close to the 37-yard line. Actually, it's going to be the 38, first and 10 for Socastee at their own 38-yard line. Again, Hunter Renfro, Steven Gursky, and Max Joseph on the outside. The fullback is Kyle Smith. The wingbacks are Delano Walters and Buck Biko. Hunter Renfro at 1,309 yards rushing on the year has accounted for 25 touchdowns for Socastee on the year. They're moving from left to right. First and 10 at the 38. No score. First play from scrimmage as Kyle Smith takes it up the gut. And that's what the Braves are going to have to do tonight. Andy, I've said a number of times, pound it, pound it, pound it in the middle and hope for an outside buster late in the ball game.
Well, I think that's what they've told me that they hope they can do. They hope that they can get it inside and control the football and keep the ball away from Hartsville as much as they can. But they need to get more than...
That's a big 3-yard gain for Kyle. They're going to give it to him again. right behind the center, Tevin Ferreras, who is a backup center. John Leggett is out again tonight with a concussion. So another 2-yard gain is going to make it 3rd down and about 4. They're going to need to get to the 48-yard line. The ball lands or lays at the 44. So 3rd down 4 for the Braves. No score, just underway here at Socastee High School. First round to make that second round of the 3A playoffs. Wingbacks right and left in motion. Delano Walters, they give to Kyle. Kyle tries to break the tackle at the line of scrimmage. He cannot. Hartsville defensive lineman loses his helmet. And they are barking at the Braves as they stop Kyle Smith short of the first down. It's going to be 4th and 3 from the 45-yard line, so a 3-and-out to start the ball game for Socastee. But again, they're going to need to be methodical tonight and be very persistent in pounding the middle of that Hartsville defense. They have not given up a ton of yards in the middle, but the Braves will have to be consistent and continuing to go there, even if it's not successful time and time again. The kick by Matt Trimby takes a Socastee bounce in the Hartsville defense, and he hit hard and dropped at the 2-yard line.
That is Shrine Bowler Phillips.
What a foolish play by Sky Phillips to try to pick that ball up as it was rolling behind him, and he lost yardage all the way back to the 2-yard line.
He didn't realize that JoJo can run too, and JoJo took the outside lane away from him and had some help from his buddies, and down he goes at the 2.
Well, Shy Phillips loses it all the way back to the 3-yard line is where they're going to mark it 1st and 10 for Daquan Benjamin, Arian Dudley, Brian Rivers, who is their top running back, and they give it to Rivers right up the middle. Rivers has picked up 1,287 yards on the year, and he gains 5 here to the 9-yard line. Make it 6. It's going to be 2nd down and 3, and they went right behind Elijah Greenwalt and Seth Spell, the left tackle and left guard. Your center is Raquan Smith. Ray Pogue is the right guard, and the right tackle is Dikey Bishop. And here's a pitch sweep around the right end. Big gainer for Hartsville. That's Shy Phillips. Shy.
That's Rivers.
Or is it Rivers?
Yeah,
okay. Brian Rivers around the right end, and he picks up major yardage out to the 29-30-yard line. So 1st and 10 for Hartsville. The pitch sweep works against the Braves this time. Brian Rivers, 27 yards on 2 carries for Hartsville. They split. Austin Morris wide to the near side left. Wingbacks right and left. The man in motion. They fumbled the football, and the quarterback fell on it, Daquan Benjamin. So it's going to be 2nd down and 11. Lost a yard to the 29-yard line.
And the quarterback, Benjamin's helmet came off, so he is leaving the field for this play.
Yeah, he'll have to come out, and Matt Lynch will replace him. The 5'10", 170-pound sophomore will replace Daquan Benjamin. Shy Phillips could line up in the Wild Fox format as well. But Lynch sends a man in motion to the near side. They hand it off to Rivers. Rivers has a hole on the left. He gets to the corner. He's knocked out of bounds short of the 1st down stick at about the 39. So we picked up 10. So it's going to be 3rd and 1 from the 39-yard line.
Once again, going outside.
Right now, they're being able to run around our ends and corners.
I think Socastee's selling out up the middle to try to stop that trap for Hartsville. Hartsville runs a trap and a dive. They don't like to throw it very much. Wingback in motion to the right. They moved early. Quarterback keeps it himself. And the sneak picks up the 1st down, and he pays for it. On the 1st down, Daquan Benjamin picks up about 13 yards into Socastee territory at the 45-yard line, but he got battered around by the Socastee defense. Giovanni Rendon and Finn Melko on the stop, but you can't let him get that deep into the backfield. It was a quick count. They snapped it in a hurry.
Got to tackle better.
Wingbacks left and right. Wide out to the left, in motion to the right. They hand off to that fly sweep.
Dudley.
Arian Dudley, the wing back to the left. He went in motion. They handed to him, and you'll see that a lot. That's the trap play that Hartsville on the fly sweep. They rarely pitch it. They run it to Rivers on the fly sweep and Arian Dudley on the fly sweep. Morris comes wide to the left. Wingbacks right and left. Quarterback up under center. Fullback is Dudley. They hand to him. Dudley on the trap is spun down after about a gain of 3. So it's going to be 3rd and about 2. So the Braves need a stop here, Andy. This would be a huge possession down for the Braves.
Yeah, but I'm not sure that Hartsville's not in a 2-down situation.
I agree with that.
May very well be right, Andy. Hartsville.
Because they're sort of moving it at will right now.
Splits a man wide to the near side. That's Austin Morris. Moving right to left. Wingback in motion to the near. And the flags go down. They moved in the backfield too soon, I believe.
That could be huge, as we know. That's a big 5 yards right there.
Now, that can change things right there.
False start, and that was on the fullback who started forward before the ball was snapped. So a 5-yard penalty is going to make it 3rd down and 8 instead of 3rd and 3. Back at the 43-yard line. They need to get to the 35 for a 1st down. No score. Socastee and Hartsville in the 3A playoffs. Braves fans come to their feet. Huge play right here. 3rd and 8 at the 43. Man in motion to the near side. They hand it to him on the fly sweep. He's got the 1st down and more. He keeps his feet, but he stumbled at the 30 down to the 25. Brian Rivers was stopped at the line of scrimmage, or at least they had a hand on him at the line of scrimmage, and then he broke away, and when he did, it was an open field, smooth sailing to the 30. He tripped across the 30-yard line, or he may have gained a lot more.
He could have got a touchdown.
He could have scored. That's exactly right, Howard.
So down to the 26, 1st and 10, Hartsville. Morris splits to the right this time. Very tight behind the quarterback, Benjamin. And again, flags before the snap, so it's going to be a false start against Hartsville again, unless Socastee lined up in the neutral zone. It is from the side, Judge. It's going to be a false start against Hartsville, so that'll back them up 5 yards, and 2 penalties on this first drive, but unfortunately, the Braves aren't stopping anybody, Andy.
Well, you know, they're running the same play. They're running outside of us.
Yep, and the fly sweep over and over again.
We have got to step up on those corners and force that thing back inside and not let them get outside.
Morris to the right. Wingbacks right and left. Rivers to the left. Dudley to the right. Rivers goes in motion. Here's a play-action pass. They're going for it all downfield, but way beyond any of the receivers, and we've got a penalty flag down. That was an uncatchable ball, but the official, I believe, is going to say there was holding on the play, and Coach Doug Illing is begging to differ. That pass was uncatchable for certain, but there was contact in the open field. If it's pass interference, it's going to be a 15-yard penalty against Socastee, and it's a terrible call. I have to admit, that is just a bad call. It was not going to be caught. I didn't see any contact before the ball got there. There may have been contact after the ball went over the head.
We were better positioned for the ball than they were.
The ball went over the head of the receiver and the defensive backs, Andy.
Yeah.
What'd you see?
I saw just an absolute terrible call.
Yeah.
One thing to mention, though, Alan, it's under 6 minutes. One reason their defense is so good, their offense has the ball for so long.
Yep, and they give it to Rivers. Rivers is caught from behind on the fly sweep again to the right. He didn't get to the corner that time, Andy.
Not that time. Spolinski cut him down like a big oak tree.
Sam McKinney was in on that tackle, too.
Half-yard loss on the play, back to the 16, so it'll be 2nd down and 11 at the 16-yard line, but they have marched the football down the field. 5:27 to play in the first quarter. No score. Hartsville on their first possession has marched it from their own 3-yard line to the Socastee 16. And timeout is called by Jeff Calabrese in Hartsville, so we'll take it as well. Don't go anywhere. No score in the second round of the 3A playoffs. It's Hartsville 0, Socastee nothing on Sunny 103.1.
Driscoll's Seafood and Steaks is truly a hidden gem. Check these reviews. one of the best seafood restaurants in the area off the beaten path but not a tourist trap. Abundant, fresh, tasty, and inexpensive. Or, all I can say is wow. My family hit the early bird. I was able to get a great 12-ounce prime rib for only $12.95. Locals know that Driftwood Seafood and Steaks is more than great food and great prices. But the awesome staff lets you know they're glad you're there. Come join your friends at Driftwood Seafood and Steaks on Highway 707 in the St. James Plaza.
Brought to you by HTC. This is live. Connect with it.
The Hartsville Red Foxes have marched the football down the field. They have had it for over 6 minutes. The Braves went 3 and out on their first possession, punted it to the Hartsville 3-yard line, and Hartsville has moved it all the way to the Socastee 16, 2nd and 11 after the timeout. No score. Hartsville sends a man in motion. They hand it right up the middle, and Rivers is in for the touchdown. That was a dive play that looked like the previous traps or fly sweeps, and Rivers went right up the middle, 16 yards for the touchdown on the first play after the timeout. With 5:11 to play in the first quarter, it's Hartsville 6, Socastee nothing.
There's so much motion going on by the offense. Yep. Everybody past the line was just frozen. They literally ran in untouched.
And after he busted the line of scrimmage, the Socastee defense did not even know Rivers had the football, and he was in the end zone before anybody knew it. And here's the extra point attempt. It's up and good. And it's Hartsville 7-0 with 5:11 to play. 16-yard run by Brian Rivers to put the Foxes on the board first. It's 7-zip on Sunny 103.1.
My HTC digital cable service connects me to my favorite shows and new release movies with video on demand. So I can watch what I want, when I want, and I can choose from more than 200 channels, including digital cable sports. I'll never miss a play for my favorite team in any season. With HTC, it's a win-win, because HTC connects me with the things that mean the most.
Catch NFL preseason coverage all month long on NFL Network, part of the Passport package for only $10 per month. Call HTC at 843-369-8961.
HTC, this is life. Connect with it.
Brought to you by Little Caesars Pizza on Highway 707.
5:11 to play in the first quarter. A 97-yard drive finished off 16 yards by Brian Rivers to put Hartsville in front 7-0, and a penalty flag goes down as the ball is kicked out of bounds by Hartsville's place kicker, and that is Quees Council. And it's going to come to the 35, come out to the 35-yard line for Socastee. They started at the 38 on their first drive and picked up just 6 yards on that first possession to punt it away to Hartsville. A great kick by Matt Trimby pinned Hartsville at their own 3-yard line, and they went 97 yards on their first possession. Took over 6 minutes to get it done, and a touchdown for Hartsville. They lead it 7-0, but Hunter Renfro sends a man in motion. Here's a play action. He's going to be flushed out of the pocket, and he throws it at his fullback in the backfield, and Hartsville had 3 men all over it. Yep. Ethan Tate, Dwayne McDaniel, and Ray Coe were in the face of Hunter Renfro, and he had to throw it away. That was not his fullback. That was actually
Towery, who the refs thought was their fullback, thankfully, so they didn't throw the flag.
Incomplete pass stops the clock with 5:06 to play. And Quan Russell will check in. Spins wide to the far side left. Near side comes Giovanni. No, that is Bako. Buck Bako goes in motion. They hand it to Kyle Smith up the middle. So on 2nd down and 10, he is bottled up at the line of scrimmage. And it'll be 3rd down and 9. Braves need to move the football, and I've said, Andy, they can't panic. Even if they don't pick up a first down, they need to continue to be belligerent in this type of offense.
Yeah, but you got to make a first down every once in a while.
That's true. But, I mean, I think that if they can keep Hartsville from scoring, then this offense will be effective in the second half. But out of the shotgun now, Hunter Renfro gives it to Delano Walters. Walters tries to find a hole. He cannot. Back to the line of scrimmage and nothing more, so the Braves are going to punt it away on 3rd down and 9 again. Make it 4th down, and we'll call it about 7 after a 2-yard pickup by Delano Walters. 4th and 7 from their own 37-yard line, 38-yard line, and the Braves have got a grand total of 9 yards in this ball game. Hartsville has a 97-yard touchdown drive, and they lead it 7-0 right now. Shy Phillips goes back to receive the Matt Trimby punt. Matt puts it in the air, and it's a beauty. Man, that's a missile that flies over Shy Phillips' head all the way into the end zone on the roll. But Shy Phillips was standing at his own 15-yard line, and that ball flew over his head by about 10 yards and then spiraled into the end zone, and it'll come out to the 20-yard line. That was as good a kick as you'll see at any level right there.
At any level. He kicked the petunias out of that.
Yes, he did. That was a missile. Under 4 minutes to play now in the first quarter. 7-0 Hartsville, and they have it back. Went 97 yards on their first drive, and Brian Rivers went right up the hole, 16 yards to take it in for the touchdown. It's 7-0. They got it back, 1st and 10 at their own 20. They hand off again to Rivers. No, that is Shy McPhail this time. McPhail takes it off tackle right on the dive and picks up about 3. We'll call it 2nd down and 7.
Milko came up and made the start.
Well, they've got it the first offense. There's no question. They don't run a lot of plays, but what they do is they spread it around, just as they did last year. They had 3 rushers over 1,000 yards last year. And I'm graduated, but this year Kurt handles it pretty well. And trying to make the turn on the corner was Arian Dudley. So he loses a yard on the play, back to the 23rd. So it's going to be 3rd down and 7. And the Braves caught a break right there. Actually, it's about a 2-yard loss back to the 22, so it's going to be 3rd and 8. Huge play for the Braves defense right here. Need to get a stop. 2:55 on the rolling clock. 7-0 Hartsville in motion. They hand off to McPhail. And nope, it's Brian Rivers. Rivers, that's the same play he scored the touchdown on. Up the gut. There's so much movement in that backfield. That trap play, just line, fooled the announcer. And Rivers picks up 9 and the Hartsville first down.
Well, you know the Hartsville thing in that.
Yep. I agree with you, Andy. Down to the 31. Hartsville has a equipment timeout for the Red Foxes. The clock restarts at 2:33 on the rolling clock. They'll bring Morris wide to the near side left. And Morris is just a decoy. They play with 10 guys inside the box. And they move the man in motion. They give it to Rivers. And they stop that one right in the box.
Well, it's just a play late.
Yep, you're right. A play late, but they saw that one coming. That one was
maybe they're starting to see things.
Yeah, I was going to say, that one wasn't disguised as well as the play prior to that. 7-0. Inside, 2 minutes to go. In the first quarter, and they've got the football back, sitting down in front of Rivers tries to find the ball. They almost get the football out. But he picks up about 5. JoJo Richards finished it off, but I think Angelo Sauter was the first guy to stop him. And it's going to be 3rd down and 3 at the 40. I think this is another one of those 2-down territories, Andy.
Yep.
3rd and 3. Hartsville continuing to move the ball on the ground. They've thrown one pass, and it resulted in a pass interference against the Braves. They hand off on the fly, sweep to Dudley, and he's pulled down in the backfield by Finn Melko. He actually pulled the running back's shoe right off his feet.
That was a big play by Melko.
So Hartsville is elected to punt after they lost 5 yards on the play, rather than trying a 4th down and 7.
Well, they've seen enough of Socastee to know that Socastee can be explosive, too. And they haven't seen everything that Socastee does yet.
Stephen Gursky and Sam McKinney back to receive this punt by Quees Council, and it's a knuckleball that barely gets into the Socastee half of the field. Then it takes a big Hartsville bounce inside the 35 to the 32. So the Braves somewhat, Howard, stop the Hartsville Red Foxes and get the ball back.
That was a big stop, that's for sure. Good job, defense.
Any stop is a big stop.
Against the Hartsville team, you're absolutely right. 7-0 inside a half minute to play in the first quarter. Braves need to get some offense started. They've only picked up a grand total of 9 yards here in the first quarter. And in motion, Walters, and they almost brought Hartsville. They jumped into the neutral zone with no penalty flag. Hunter Renfro spins on the quarterback keeper. The read option, they're going to roll it all the way back, and then they're going to late penalty flag against Hartsville. Hartsville came up with a football, said they tripped Hunter Renfro, but they did that after the whistles blew. They continued to try to force Hunter down to the ground, and they're going to get a personal foul, unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, and mark off 15 yards against Hartsville. That was unnecessary. The officials knew it, Andy.
Well, you know, anybody that can read, and I'm sure they probably can read in Hartsville, know that that Renfro has been hurt.
Yep.
And that was definitely a go after the hurt quarterback play.
No question about it. And that's what I love Jeff Calabrese to death. I really do.
Yeah, but he didn't do it.
No. That's what I'm saying. Jeff Calabrese is a good guy, and I don't think he plays that way. He'll say something to his players about going after one of the injured players of Socastee. Play straight up, and that's the end of the first quarter. Hartsville leads it 7-0 at the end of 12 minutes, back in 90 seconds with quarter number 2 on Sunny 103.1.
Little Caesars, home of the $5 hot and ready pizza, now has a deep, deep dish pizza so deep, you'll need to stretch out your mouth for the 8 caramelized crispy corners. So I'm going to yawn, because that will make you yawn. And yawning is a great way to stretch your mouth for, Little Caesars' new deep, deep dish pizza. It's hot and ready from 4 to 8 for just $8. Pizza. At participating locations plus tax.
My HTC digital cable service connects me to my favorite shows and new release movies with video on demand. So I can watch what I want, when I want. And I can choose from more than 200 channels, including digital cable sports. I'll never miss a play for my favorite team in any season. With HTC, it's a win-win. Because HTC connects me with the things that mean the most.
Catch NFL preseason coverage all month long on NFL Network, part of the Passport package for only $10 per month. Call HTC at 843-369-8961.
HTC, this is life. Connect with it.
The Leo Artisan Diamond is the crowning glory of the Leo Diamond Collection. Only at Jared, the Galleria of Jewelry. The Leo Diamond is the first diamond ever independently and individually certified to be visibly brighter. And every Leo diamond is handcrafted by master artisans. The Leo Artisan Diamond. Come see the difference for yourself. Find a Jared store or shop anytime at Jared.com.
Brought to you by Myrtle Beach Chevrolet.
First play of the second quarter, 1st and 10 from the 50-yard line. A 14-yard pass completion to Stephen Gursky to the Hartsville 36. And it's 1st and 10 for Socastee. And Hunter Renfro on the read option breaks the tackle inside the 25. He's still on his feet inside the 20, down to the 16-yard line. It fooled everybody on the fake handoff to Delano Walters. The entire Red Fox defense went after number 5, and number 7 had a clear lane on the far boundary down the sideline or down the right side, and Hunter Renfro is down after he was tackled. He broke a tackle at the 20 and got down to the 16, and Coach Doug Illing is going out to tend to, as well as Jason Kazee, our trainer, tend to number 7. Andy, to see your quarterback go down after a big run like that.
Well, especially when you know he's playing on 99% guts anyway.
Yep. Well, Renfro, what a great fake to Delano Walters, and he is up quickly. And you can bet, like I said, they'll have to amputate at the knee to get him out of the ball game.
Well, he's walking good, so I think he had the breath knocked out of him.
May have been right. You may be right, Andy. He may have just fallen on the football, and Jordan Hodge will come in for at least a play. And I said this to Steve Hodge before the game, Andy, and see if you back me up. If Jordan Hodge has to go in for a play or two or a series or two, the Braves have confidence in number 2.
Exactly. You are absolutely right. And he is a gamer, I tell you that.
Well, he's got the game right now in his hands. 1st and 10 at the 16 of Hartsville. And he hands off up the middle to Kyle Smith. Smith hanging on to that football with both hands as Hartsville is trying to yank it out of there. But he picks up 2. It's going to be 2nd and 8 inside the 15 at the 14-yard line. Kyle Smith. Hunter's going back in the ball game, by the way. But Kyle instructed, I'm sure, to keep both hands on the corners of that football, and because Hartsville is going after it. So it's 2nd down and 8 at the 14-yard line of Hartsville. 7-0. Red Foxes in front here in the second quarter. As Hunter Renfrow is in the shotgun, fires across the middle. It's caught. Touchdown! A spit-step touchdown in between 2 defenders to Matt Trimby. That was a bullet.
I mean, a bullet, too.
That was a laser from number 7 to number 16, Matt Trimby, from 14 yards out. And the Braves are an extra point from tying this football game with 10:41 to play in the second quarter.
You know, I think that's Matt's first touchdown.
I think it is.
Okay, I'm gonna take you guys' word for it. It may be, I think maybe he got one at North Myrtle, didn't he? Or maybe not. I'm gonna take your guys' word for it. But here's the extra point for Trimby. He can account for all 7 points on this touchdown. The snap, Hunter Renfrow puts it down. Trimby kicks it all the way to the school. It splits the upright. That was about a 50-yard extra point. He was fired up and accounts for all 7. We are knotted at a touchdown with 10:41 to play in the second quarter here at Socastee High School. Back in 30 seconds on Sunny 103.1.
SMP Painting Contractors have been proud to sponsor these high school football broadcasts over the past 5 years and recognize the success of our Grand Strand young people on and off of the field. For quality and reliable commercial painting needs, call Kevin Murray and SMP Painting Contractors. 843-448-2515. That's 843-448-2515. And be sure to catch the SMP Painting Contractor Coach's Game Plan during the countdown to kickoff prior to every game. Brought to you by HTC. This is Live. Connect with it.
We're here marveling during the timeout at that touchdown pass from Hunter Renfrow to Matt Trimby. It was a laser. It was in the end zone before I knew that Matt had a hold of it. And a 7-7 ball game with 10:41 to play here in the first half. And this ball is going to be received, and he stepped on the sideline, but they let him continue. A block in the back, and then he slips down at the 12-yard line. Number 28 for Hartsville blocked in the back. Number 23, who returned it for the Red Foxes, Dantes Rogers, stepped out of bounds exactly at the 12-yard line, and they finally mark him down at the 12. So I think the official finally realized that he stepped out of bounds after he carried it for 15 yards.
And the same referee that called the
pass interference. Absolutely
did not throw the flag for the block in the back.
You're absolutely right, Andy. Same exact official was on top of it. And this guy, I'm telling you,
and
you know me, I have not.
If you've listened to us all year, you know we have not belittled the officials.
Not one time.
Not at all.
Not one time. And tonight,
we're getting close, right?
Well, I mean, I'm not saying it was a poor foul. I just think it was poor judgment. And then they didn't see him step out of bounds. Or finally, I guess they did, because they're marking it out where he stepped out of bounds at the 12-yard line. So Hartsville will have it 1st and 10 at their own 12. Daquan Benjamin will split a man wide to the left. Real tight between the tackles at the 12. A wingback. In motion to the near. They give it on the trap up the middle to Brian Rivers. Across the 15 to the 17. And that counter developed very slow there, Andy. 5-yard pickup, though, and Rivers, great running back. He's picked up almost 13. I think he's just gone over 1,300 yards on the year, and he waits for that offensive line to open the hole for him. It waits for it to develop. And he is in motion now. They hand it to him once more, and he's caught at the line of scrimmage this time. Andrew Badu is on the bottom of that. Joe Smolinski is at the top. A pickup of 2 is going to make it 3rd down and about 3 at the 20-yard line. So they need to pick up 2.5 to 3 yards on 3rd. And Steven Johnston comes out of the ball game for the Braves. Hunter Thacker checks in. And the Braves with a chance to get possession back, tied at 7 with 9:21 here in the second quarter. In motion, near side, the handoff on the trap again to Rivers. Rivers picks up the first down across the 25, and that is a play that the Braves are seeing develop, but they're not able to pull Rivers down, and it was Angelo Sauter who caught him from behind, but he should have been stopped at the line of scrimmage.
Exactly.
But a 5-yard gain picks up the first down for Hartsville at the 27. 1st and 10. Rivers picks up 5, and there's an equipment issue in the backfield. One running back is helping the other with his headgear. And finally, the officials, they waited 30 or 40 seconds to call the equipment malfunction. And they restart the clock with 8:47. 1st and 10, Hartsville at the Socastee, or their own 27-yard line. Fly sweep to Brian Rivers, and Rivers is cut down in the backfield. Sam McKinney up from his cornerback spot. So the clock rolls inside, 8.5 to play. Alan Smothers, Andy Lanier, Howard Henry with you. And we'll take a look at the HTC scoreboard here in just a moment. Over in Hartsville, South Florence is up on Easley already, 14-0. My partner Emerson Phillips is calling that game. And man wide to the near side, Rivers in motion, and the dive play up the middle, and penalty flags come from every direction. The back judge, the forward judge, and the side judge all threw penalty flags. Think they moved early? Everybody in the building saw it. Or at least those with yellow hankies, anyway.
Except the one back here in the back. His back judge, he didn't see it.
He saw that pass interference. That's the guy. He's a little skinny guy back there. I don't want to talk about his appearance.
Well, he's backing up.
He's way
back. My Lord, he needs binoculars.
Oh. 2nd down and 15 after the 5-yard mark-off. In motion, Rivers. They give on the trap up the middle to McPhail, and McPhail is stopped at the line of scrimmage. 1-yard gain, maybe, to the 21. So it'll be 3rd and 14. Big down for the Braves defense.
Well, I think that Hartsville, that's one reason why they're concerned about giving the ball to Socastee, because they're worried that Socastee can move the football too.
So 7.5 to play in the first half. Second quarter action, tied at 7. 2nd down, 14. They give on the trap up the middle to Rivers, and Rivers is stopped after a 2-yard gain to the 23. And that trap, the little counter trap, Andy, I think the Braves have seen Rivers do that enough now that they're not going to allow the big chunks to be had as the game moves on.
Well, they're trying to take that play in itself away from them, and this series they did that.
So Hartsville is going to punt it away again, tied at 7. 6:50 on the rolling clock here in the second quarter. Quees Council kicks it away. It's short. It's going to be received and brought back for Socastee. That is Matt Trimby, I believe, or Stephen Gursky. Stephen Gursky catches at the 40-yard line and takes it to the Hartsville 27.
No, that was JoJo.
Or was it?
Oh, no, that was Gursky. That's Gursky.
Yeah, I think it was. It was Stephen Gursky.
Number 6.
No,
15. Yeah, Stephen Gursky did take it to, they're going to say he stepped out of bounds at the 32. So Stephen Gursky and Sam McKinney went back to receive the kick, and Gursky caught it on a dead run and took it to the Hartsville 32-yard line, and the Braves have it 1st and 10 in great field position, tied at 7 here in the second quarter. Deep in Hartsville territory. Gursky is wide to the near side left. Kyle Smith, the fullback. Delano and Bako in motion. Here's the pass again. This one is short of Gursky. It was into the near boundary, and
they were going to throw the old hook and lateral there.
I think you're right, as Delano Walters was out there with him, and the hook and lateral was coming. But the pass was short of Gursky, and I think that one was set up perfectly because there was only one defender out here.
They've got the ball marked a yard ahead of where it should be.
A yard ahead. You're absolutely right, Howard. That ball is at the 31. It should be at the 32. Second down and 10. And to give up the middle to Kyle Smith in a big hole. Picks up 6.
Or 7. Who knows?
Yeah. You're on top of it there, Howard Henry. Actually, they're going to say he's down at the 26. I thought he got inside the 25, but it was a 7-yard pickup. It'll be 3rd down and 3. They need to get to the 22. Ball's just outside the 25. So 3rd and 3. Gursky to the left. I formation this time with a single wing back, and Hunter Renfro on the keeper. He's at the 15, the 10, the 5. A face mask penalty. No flag. Everybody on this side of the field saw the face mask, and they did not call the penalty. But Hunter Renfro runs it all the way down to the 2 on a 17-yard pickup.
Well, they weren't looking for Hunter to carry the football. He faked it to Kyle Smith again, and they collapse on Kyle. Big mistake because Hunter was like a rocket.
Great read by Hunter.
Right by, yes, sir.
Actually, that is a 21-yard pickup to the 3-yard line. 1st and goal. Here's the full house backfield to Kyle Smith. He pushes the pile into the end zone for the Smith-Sapp touchdown. Kyle Smith from 3 yards away, and the Braves are in front for the first time with 5:36 to play in the first half. 13-7. That is smash mouth football, Mr. Lanier. I know that's what you grew up on.
That's my boy there.
Yes, it is. Andy Lanier grew up on that smash mouth football, and his grandson learned well. 13-7. Trimby trying to tack on the PAT. Here's the snap. Hunter puts it down. Matt kicks it up, and again, it's a blast right down Broadway. 3-yard run by Kyle Smith puts the Braves in front 14-7 with 5:36 to play in the first half on Sunny 103.1.
Little Caesars, home of the $5 hot and ready pizza, now has a deep, deep dish pizza so deep you'll need to stretch out your mouth for the 8 caramelized crispy corners. So I'm going to yawn, because that will make you yawn. And yawning is a great way to stretch your mouth for, Little Caesars' new deep, deep dish pizza. It's hot and ready from 4 to 8 for just $8. Pizza. At participating locations plus tax.
Brought to you by Little Caesars Pizza on Highway 707.
5:36 to play in the first half as the Braves have put 14 points on the board here in the second quarter and taken the lead for the first time on a 3-yard touchdown run by Kyle Smith. And that was a 32-yard touchdown drive for the Braves after the short punt by Hartsville. And here's a knuckleball kick that's going to be fumbled, and the ball is on the field. Hartsville picks it up. Finally, he's taken down, but that was dangerous both ways for both Hartsville muffing the kick and then Socastee with the confusion after he picked up the fumble, Howard.
That's one of those, you know, if they get control of it, you never know if it turn out. It's backyard sandlot football, but Socastee was there, surrounded him, brought him down. So we know they can drive 80 yards, so hopefully the defense will step up like they have last couple of times.
Hartsville scored the first touchdown of the ballgame. 97-yard drive. Took over 6 minutes to do it in the first quarter. And the Braves have scored the last 2 touchdowns. They're up 14-7. Hartsville on the fly sweep to Brian Rivers. It's a 3-yard gain across the 25 to around the 27. So it's going to be 2nd down and 7. But Rivers moving a little slow, waiting for that hole to develop on that offensive line, and the Braves defensive front starting to do a great job up there. Richard Cherry, Joe Smolinski, Garrett Melton, Angelo Sauter, and Andrew Badu as they bring Morris wide to the left. Tight inside the tackles at the 27-yard line. Here's a two-step drop. Fire. It's not batted down. Great defensive line play by Socastee.
Great job. Sauter got up and brought that down. Hartsville was very chippy from the get-go, but they are showing signs of frustration.
Yeah, that was a straight two-step drop. No play action there by quarterback DeQuan Benjamin, and he threw it right into the chest of Angelo Sauter. Sauter batted it down. 3rd down and 7 now at the 27-yard line. Socastee like to get the ball back with 4.5 minutes to play here in the second quarter. 14-7. Counter. Give to Brian Rivers, and he stopped at the line of scrimmage.
Smolinski was not fooled at all, and a flag comes down. It's been chippy.
Yeah, Hartsville has been barking a lot tonight, and this one might be going against Socastee. And Stephen Johnston is really begging the official to pull that flag, and Doug Illing is calling Johnston over. Stephen Johnston is not happy, and that penalty is going to go against the Braves. And Coach Illing is very upset, as is Stephen Johnston. Johnston is feeling like somebody provoked him.
Well, he's been one of the guys at the end of their chippiness, and he's not innocent. He may not have done anything on that play, but the rest have seen enough between him and Hartsville. And
he is inconsolable on the sideline, though.
Well,
I mean, he said that. I mean, several coaches are trying to calm him down, so he is not. He's just upset that the penalty flag was thrown on him, and the other team is getting away with it, but it's going to cost him 15 yards either way. That would have been a possession for Socastee. Instead, the personal foul against Socastee is going to march it all the way out to the 42-yard line. Dadgummit, we'd have had the football right there. And the Brave fans are upset about it. SMP Painting Contractors, proud to bring you the starting lineups before every game, and now we've got a timeout on the field as Doug Illing wants to talk to his defense. He's calling his defense over right now to try to calm them down, saying, look, we've got the lead. Let's be a little more professional here in keeping it, because they would have had possession of the football if not for the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. So we'll take time out. We'll come back in 30 seconds on Sunny 103.1.
Lakewood Camping Resort, Myrtle Beach's first campground, continues to get better. A new action-packed water park with multiple slides and relaxing lazy river was just added. Spread over 200 acres with 2,000 campsites and over 100 rental villas, Lakewood Camping Resort is located oceanfront at 5901 South Kings Highway and features electrical, water, and cable hookups, free Wi-Fi, and so much more. The Lakewood Conference Center is perfect for private and holiday parties. Locals are always welcome to join us for an awesome staycation. Call Lakewood Camping Resort at 238-5161.
Brought to you by Myrtle Beach Chevrolet.
Back at the reservation, the Braves lead it 14-7, but first down picked up on an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against Socastee. Howard, you have a time to check that HTC scoreboard for us after I tell you about Smith Sapp, CPA firm. They have 3 locations, convenient to serve you in Myrtle Beach, Conway, and Pawleys Island. And Doug Illing is getting his money's worth in discussing that last penalty against the Braves.
South Florence is up 21-0 over Easley in the second quarter. Northwestern has a 21-0 lead over West Florence. Second quarter, Hanahan's up 6-0 on Marlboro County, and Crestwood leads Myrtle Beach 19-14 also in the second quarter, and Strom Thurmond's up 10-0.
Play action pass is overthrown, intended for Arian Dudley, and the quarterback paid for it after he let go of the football. He had Garrett Melton in his grill.
And
4:16 to play.
A couple more scores. Loris 18, Richland Hardyville 0. Ainer 0, Chamberlain 21. Both of those are in the second quarter.
4:16 after the incomplete pass here in the second quarter. Braves in front 14-7. Wingbacks right and left. Wide out to the left. They hand off on the trap up the middle. And a stop of about 4 yards to Rivers. It's going to be 3rd down and 6 at the 46. And the Braves have started stopping this trap, and they haven't gotten to the corners lately, Andy, but the Braves are their own worst enemy right now.
Well, anytime you get an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty when you should be getting the football, there is nowhere to go but to say that was not the most intelligent thing we could have done.
Yeah, he had nowhere to hide after that play either. Here's 3rd and 6. Dropping to pass, 2 steps, firing. It's incomplete. The ball hit the ground. It bounced to the receiver. So an incomplete pass makes it 4th down and 6 at the 46-yard line of Hartsville. And the quarterback,
Benjamin is very slow to get up.
Yeah, he was hit, and he is hobbling off the field. He didn't have a lot of pressure that time. He had time to throw the football, but he threw it short of his intended receiver.
He got nailed.
Austin Morris, and the ball skipped to Morris, and he knew it. So it's going to be 4th down, so the Braves will finally get it back after the penalty that extended this drive. Quees Council back to receive. Here's the snap, the kick. It's high. It's the best Council punt of the night, and a fair catch is called for by Sam McKinney. And he makes it at the 23. So the Braves get it back with 3.5 to play here in the first half, and they're in front 14-7. And I want to tell you more about the good folks that sponsor this very radio program, HTC. This is life. Connect with it. The HTC scoreboard is always brought to you by the folks who bundle and save. HTC offers you many bundled programs that allow you to save money and stay connected when you combine services like home and wireless phone, digital cable TV, high-speed internet, and home security. You may already qualify. Start saving today with HTC. Out of the shotgun, Hunter Renfro gives it to Delano Walters. Walters trying to find the corner. He gets spun around, and finally the tackle is made. A nice job staying with the play by Hartsville's Raquan Cotton. Cotton on the outside. Stayed right on Delano Walters, and he loses yards. A bunch of them all the way back to the 17. No, excuse me.
That's the 12.
12-13 yard line. 12-yard line is so tough play for Delano. A loss of about 11 on that play. It'll be 2nd down and 21 back at the 12-yard line. 14-7, Braves in front. Phone number for HTC is 369-8963. That's 369-8963 for HTC. This is life. Connect with it. Hunter Renfro spinning away, trying to find a hole. Gets it back out to the 19-yard line. So a nice job getting his team some working room. A 7-yard pickup to the 19. So it'll be 3rd down, and the Braves, making Hartsville going to call timeout with 2:26. And bringing up a 3rd down and 12 play when we return in 30 seconds. This is Socastee football in the 3A playoffs on Sunny 103.1.
Driftwood Seafood and Steaks is truly a hidden gem. Check these reviews. One of the best seafood restaurants in the area off the beaten path, but not a tourist trap. Abundant, fresh, tasty, and inexpensive. Or, all I can say is wow. My family has the early bird. I will all about prime rib. Locals know that Driftwood Seafood and Steaks is more than great food and great prices. But the awesome staff lets you know they're glad you're there. Come join your friends at Driftwood Seafood and Steaks on Highway 707 in the St. James Plaza.
Brought to you by HTC. This is live. Connect with it.
Back at the reservation on the campus at Socastee High School. Appreciate you being with us tonight on Sunny 103.1. Hunter Renfro out of the shotgun, looking to pass, firing downfield well beyond the reach of Quan Russell. Nobody would have caught that one if they'd have been 15 feet tall. And Socastee is going to punt for the 2nd time tonight. They punted on their first possession. And actually they punted on their first 2 possessions. They went 3 and out on their first 2 possessions, but they've scored on a couple of possessions late. And now with 2 minutes and 23 seconds to play in the first half, they're going to be kicking away deep in their own territory, waiting for the 11th man to join them. And Matt Trimby will stand inside his 10-yard line. I would have thought Hartsville may come after one, but they didn't look as though they were setting up a block it. Down 14-7 here in the second quarter. Now, a quick look at that HTC scoreboard one more time. You can stick to it. And they pay close attention to the family's needs. Jim and Carol Beaudry take pride in being good neighbors and friends. Their funeral home's motto is always there, always fair. They provide large chapel for services, dining and catering. Here's the snap. Trimby gets it away. The kick is there, and that's a penalty flag. That is going to be a roughing the kicker penalty against Hartsville, and Socastee is going to get it back.
Well, they definitely made the contact.
We were lucky because it was a terrible snap, and if it hadn't been for the bad snap,
we might not have got there.
We wouldn't have got the penalty.
Yeah.
Well, he got touched, but that was some acting.
Yeah, it was.
Good job. It was a good job.
He was hit. His free leg, his kicking leg was in the air, and he was hit.
And he made it look like it was off.
He spun around like a ballerina.
Good job.
So a 15-yard penalty will put the Braves back on the field with 2 minutes and 12 seconds to play, and great field position now at the 35-yard line. Myrtle Beach Funeral Home is at 4505 Highway 17 bypass, and the most affordable full-service funeral home in the state. Hunter Renfro with an I formation, wing back to the left. Hunter's going to keep it on the read option. He's out to the 40, 41-yard line. 6-yard pickup makes it 2nd down and 4.
Great job.
Yes, good read option. I like that I formation with the wing back to the run side, Andy. That gives Hunter a real good option to pitch or to keep it himself. And that I formation, kind of gives the defense something else to think about. Juan Russell, wide to the right, in motion. Delano Walters that way, and they pitch it to him. Delano at the 40. He cuts it back inside to the 45. Close to the first down, he got it. To the 47. Delano. Sheer will. First down.
Sheer will. He saw just a tiny, tiny little seam, and he got his tiny body in it.
He did.
They must have watched a lot of film from last week's game, because they are shutting. That's what Delano was so effective with last week. And they are just shutting that down, giving them very little space to run.
Wing backs left and right. In motion, Bacow. Hunter. Read option. Pitches to Bacow. He's got big room. 40, 45, 35, 30. Down to the 25-yard line. 1st and 10, Socastee. And Bacow was wide open on the near boundary.
I'm telling you, there was nobody on the outside but Bacow.
I'd like to point out, Bacow made the tackle. Hartsville ran on to him to stop him. He was going to go down. He picked the defender up and threw him while he went down.
Great job. Buck is a tough little guy.
Yes, he is. That was awesome.
Bacow is the wingback near side. I formation. At the top is Delano. They give it to Kyle Smith up the gut, and he carries for about 2 inside the 25 to the 23. It'll be 2nd down and 8, but I love this diversity of play calling now, Andy.
Well, this is, we can get the ball to about the 15. I'll be a happy camper.
With 40 seconds to play in the first half. Coaches on the sideline say, let's speed it up, guys. Got to get it down inside the 20. Matt could probably kick it from here, but here's a pitch sweep to Delano Walters. He's to the 20. He's to the 15 and out of bounds. Stopping the clock at the 15-yard line. Great job, Walters, on that sweep.
He went to the far side where he had the most room to run.
They'll mark the football at the 16, Andy, with 28 seconds to play. In the first half, as Steven Gursky comes back in the ball game with the play, Juan Russell checks out. And the Braves moving the football again. Another score before intermission would be huge.
Especially a touchdown.
Absolutely. Gursky splits way wide to the near side left. I formation. Both Josa and Bacow will come to the near side, but the Braves, so much confusion, they want a timeout. That'll be their final timeout of the first half. Each team has used them up, and now that'll give me a chance to tell you more about the Myrtle Beach Funeral Home. They're on the bypass, 17 bypass, the most affordable full-service funeral home in the state. You can call for more information at 293-4505. That's 293-4505. And again, Socastee moving the football. They were down 7-0 in the first quarter of play. A 6-minute drive that covered 97 yards by Hartsville took the early lead. A 16-yard touchdown run right up the middle by Brian Rivers is all Hartsville's been able to muster tonight. But the Braves, who punted away twice on their first 2 possessions, 3 and out, scored twice here in the second quarter. A Hunter Renfro to Matt Trimby, 14-yard touchdown pass to tie it at 7. And then Kyle Smith went in from 3 yards out to give the Braves the lead. They're going to reset the clock, I believe, at 28 seconds.
Or 35, maybe.
Well, they ticked it down to 27 for some reason. The officials do have, it's 28 seconds. That's right. That's what it was before the timeout. So they put a second back on the clock. Delano Walters dots the I. Kyle Smith, the up back. Bicko is the wide out to the near side. Wide out to the near side is Gursky. Read option. Pitch to Delano. He's at the 15, the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Socastee! Smith's that touchdown with 20 seconds left in the first half. Woo! There you go, Andy. Big one. That's a huge score right there for Socastee just before intermission. And the Brave fans are on their feet to a person here in these stands. And the swinging gate, they snap it to Hunter. Hunter is not going to get, there's a face mask, and he throws it in the end zone anyway. It's intercepted. They're going to get another play because he was pulling his face mask for all he was worth, Howard.
That was one of the worst face masks I may have ever seen. Hunter's neck is going to be sore tomorrow. That was awful.
It was almost like
I guess he knew he was caught.
Yep.
Might as well get him down.
He was trying to pull the face mask off his helmet, Andy.
Yeah, and the fire department's coming out. Everybody's coming.
So that one's going to be another, chance at a 2-point conversion or an extra point. I think the Braves are just going to be content to kick this one as they don't even line up in the swinging gate. They just perch over the football. And Matt Trimby with a hold from Hunter Renfro will get a chance to add the PAT. Leading 20-7 with 20 seconds to play in the half. Here's the snap. The kick is up. It's a line drive this time, but it splits the pipes, and the Braves are in front 21-7. With 20 seconds to play in the half. We'll be back in 30 seconds on Sunny 103.1.
SMP Painting Contractors have been proud to sponsor these high school football broadcasts over the past 5 years and recognize the success of our Grand Strand young people on and off of the field. For quality and reliable commercial painting needs, call Kevin Murray and SMP Painting Contractors. 843-448-2515. That's 843-448-2515. And be sure to catch the SMP Painting Contractor Coach's Game Plan during the countdown to kickoff prior to every game. Brought to you by Myrtle Beach Chevrolet.
15-yard touchdown run by Delano Walters puts the Braves in front 21-7. They've scored all 21 of their points here in the second quarter, and we have just 20 seconds remaining in the half. And Socastee in front by 2 scores now over the defending state 3A champions. Here's the high kick. This one is going to go all the way into the end zone untouched. On the fly, Matt Trimby. Pumped up here for the Braves. And South Florence has scored 28 straight in the first half to lead over easily over at Memorial Stadium in Florence. And the Braves have scored 21 straight here to lead 21-7 over Hartsville. So, Braves need to avoid a miraculous play right here. They'll split wide receivers left and right this time. First time they've split it this wide across the field. Fly sweep to Brian Rivers. Rivers, he's got running room, but he's pulled down from behind. Nice tackle.
We almost left their wide receiver wide open. Not sure they would have seen it, but they would have been there.
Tackle for the Braves is made by Jacob Necessary, who was called up from the JV, and that's going to run the timeout here in the first half. So the Braves lead it 21-7 at halftime.
It's not. They called a timeout.
Did they call timeout? Hartsville called timeout before the clock ran out, says the official, so there will be one more play.
Jeff Calabrese called it himself. He's got a play he wants to run.
Yeah, he came out onto the field right before the horn sounded. So he got the play call, or the timeout called, and the coaching staff for Socastee calls the defense over. 2nd down and 1 from the 19. Now Hartsville is ready to run the play, and the Braves defense is over on the sideline. Obviously, the officials will not let them snap it until the defense is back and set, ready to play, and they're going to put up 2 seconds left on the clock at halftime. And Renfro to Trimby. Smith and Walters on the ground. 21 straight here in the second quarter. Braves in front, 21-7. And Chris Simmons, Giovanni Rendon come out in a prevent defense. Wide receiver left, one right, post pattern, across the middle is caught, but that's going to be it. First down picked up, but touchdown not scored. Time runs out, and that'll do it for the first 30 minutes in the book, 24 minutes in the books as the Braves lead it 21-7 at halftime. We'll come back with the Myrtle Beach Funeral Home halftime report and a happy Brave Nation here on the reservation at Socastee High School on Sunny 103.1. And Howard, let's wrap up the Myrtle Beach Funeral Home halftime report with a quick HTC scoreboard update.
All right, let's just frozen on me here for a second, but we'll get it going.
Hartsville will receive the football in the second half, and they'll move it from left to right as the Braves will kick off from right to left.
We have South Florence leading easily, 28-0 at half. Northwestern has a 42-0 lead over West Florence. Marlboro County leads Hanahan 7-6. Crestwood leads Myrtle Beach 27-14. And North Myrtle Beach trails Strom-Thurmond 13-7, all those at halftime. All
right, 21-7 is the halftime score here. Toe to leather, we are underway in the second half. It's a knuckleball right down the middle of the field. The ball is free, and it's at the 2-yard line. Hartsville falls on it at the 1. The receiver fell down and could not get up and track the football down, so his partner had to fall on it at the 1-yard line. And the second half couldn't have started much better for the Braves right there unless we had possession.
It could have, and it almost did.
It almost did. So they're going to say actually at the 2-yard line is where Hartsville will take it over now. They did score their only touchdown.
That has to drive a coach nuts. Oh. You're in the playoffs and you can't, you know that's driving coaches crazy.
The only touchdown the Red Foxes scored in the first quarter, they drove 97 yards for a TD. And now in motion, Brian Rivers. The ball is on the field, and Socastee, I think, says they have it. Now the officials come in with 2 fingers in the air to signal second down. So Hartsville fumbles at the 1, so they lose a yard. It's going to be 2nd and 11 back at the 1-yard line. Just underway, second half. The Braves lead at 14, or make it 21-7, lead by 14 points, and they have pinned Hartsville in the shadow of their goalpost on the first possession of the second half. 2nd and 11. Wide out to the far side left. Up under center. They give it on the fly sweep to Rivers. Rivers turns the corner. He's got running room. He's across the 10, the 15, to the 20, and finally pulled down at the 22-yard line. A 21-yard run around the left end, and that was what hurt the Braves in the first possession of the night, Andy. That fly sweep.
Well, it seemed like we had figured out how to defense that, and we should have realized that they were going to try to do something besides just run it into the middle of our defensive line.
20-yard pickup ball marked at the 21-yard line. 1st and 10, Hartsville. Quarterback, play action. Gets hit as he tries to throw, and he goes down for a sack. I thought he was going to let loose of the football, but instead, he takes the sack. back at around the 17-yard line, so a 4-yard loss.
Well, excellent coverage that time. Nowhere to throw the ball.
Coverage sack. Good job, Howard. So 14 yards needed for the first down for Hartsville. And they're trying to diversify their play calling now. Chris Simmons comes out to guard Austin Morris. And the counter up the middle to Rivers. Rivers got running room. He's at the 30, 35, 40, 45, and finally pulled down.
Holding.
The flag is laying at the 36-yard line, so it's going to be a first down for Hartsville, but it's going to cost them the extra 15 yards added by Rivers. Holding against Hartsville. That is going to be a first down from the point of the foul. 10 yards will be marked off, so it'll be 1st and 10, but back at the Hartsville 27-yard line. 1st and 10. No, it's not a first down.
I didn't think it was a first down.
I thought it was going to be from the point of the foul, so it's going to be 2nd down and about 5. So, not a first down for Hartsville. 2nd and 5. Ball at the 27. Wide out to the near side right. Simmons has him. They give on the counter up the middle. Dive play to the fullback, and he goes nowhere. So it's going to be 3rd down and 4.
Socastee came out.
And now Socastee just got another late penalty because of the late push. Hartsville is really talking. They are mouthing to the Braves.
Yeah, but that's no excuse.
And that's right. There's no excuse in pushing a player right in front of the official the way Socastee did right there. That is inexcusable. And it's Joe Smolinski who's going to be pulled out of the ball game, and that is just inexcusable. That is the 3rd personal foul penalty, unsportsmanlike conduct against the Braves tonight. And that's going to extend the drive. It would have been 3rd down and 4. Instead, it's a 1st and 10 outside the 40-yard line of Socastee.
Well, Hartsville's doing it too. We're just doing it 2nd and getting called.
That's right. The retaliation is the one that's always going to be called since the beginning of time, right, Andy?
Since the beginning of time, Alan.
39-yard line is where the ball is marked for play for Hartsville. And Socastee's just doing it blatantly. Their penalties are blatant. And a timeout for Socastee. And we need to take timeout so I can cool down a bit. 21-7 with 9:42 to play in the 3rd quarter. Braves in front on Sunny 103.1.
Little Caesars, home of the $5 hot and ready pizza, now has a deep, deep dish pizza so deep you'll need to stretch out your mouth for the 8 caramelized crispy corners. So I'm going to yawn, because that will make you yawn. And yawning is a great way to stretch your mouth for, Little Caesars' new deep, deep dish pizza. It's hot and ready from 4 to 8 for just $8. Pizza. At participating locations plus tax.
Brought to you by Little Caesars Pizza on Highway 707.
Yeah, the Braves cannot prove how bad they are by picking up these personal foul penalties. The 3rd of the ball game that has extended, 2 of them at least, have extended drives for Hartsville when the Braves may have either forced a punt or at least been on a 4th down play. And it's going to be 1st and 10 for Hartsville at the 39-yard line. Braves in front by 2 scores. Under 10 minutes to play here in the 3rd quarter. It's 21-7. Hartsville with a man in the slot to the near side right. On the right hash. Wing back. No motion this time to hand on the counter up the middle to Arian Dudley. And Dudley is stopped right at the 40. 1-yard pickup for Hartsville is going to make it 2nd down and 9. So, Braves defense has been, but not broken, with 1 time, and that was early in the 1st quarter. Penalty, or make that whistle, not penalty flag, but whistles. No, before Hartsville lines up. Now they restart the clock with 9:13 here in the third quarter. 21-7 Braves in motion. Derek Dudley. They give it to him. Dudley turns the corner, and he gets gang tackled by a throng of black shirts.
Necessary was there again on the first inning. Great job.
Jacob Necessary has been terrific in the middle, along with Stephen Johnston and Hunter Thacker. It's going to be 3rd down and 7. Need to get to the 49-yard line. Ball is marked at the 42. 3rd and 7. And Hartsville has some confusion in the backfield.
Belinsky is back in the ball game for Socastee.
They bring Morris to the near side right. Braves on their feet. Fans, that is. And they bring the heavy count, the hard count cadence, brings Socastee across the line of scrimmage. And now the Braves sideline is saying the side judge saw movement against Hartsville. Let's see. And it appears, nope, offside against the Braves. So it's going to be a more manageable 3rd down and 2 at the 47.
Cannot do that.
Yep. The penalties have been the Braves' worst enemy tonight. We said earlier the pre- and post-snap penalties are unforgivable. 3rd down and 2. Hartsville at the 47 brings a man in motion. They give it on the fly sweep, and he falls down short of the first down. He slipped.
Wow.
Trying to turn the corner, Arian Dudley. It's going to be 4th down and about 1. He lost a yard.
He had 5 yards if he stayed on his feet.
Yep. As he tried to turn to his left, he slipped, getting to the corner, and it's going to be 4th and 2, and they're going to go for it.
They're going for it.
They're going to go for it on 4th and 2. Braves fans need to come. They come to their feet. 4th and 2. They'll try to bring Socastee offside. They get the first down across the 50 in the Braves territory at the 48.
Great job.
Yep, right up the gut on the dive play to the fullback, Brian Rivers.
No hesitation.
Rivers is their top rusher. Over 1,300 yards on the year now. A 6-yard gain there to the 47 of Socastee. Makes it 1st and 10 for Hartsville. Morris splits wide to the left. Hartsville moves from left to right. Here at the reservation, they're down 21-7. Man in motion, play action, and penalty flag. A false start against Hartsville.
1 play too late.
Yeah. Might be right. 1 play too late. That's going to push the ball back into Red Fox territory. 7:16 to play in the third quarter. False start. Back to the 47 of Hartsville. Going to make it 1st and 15. 7:16 to go in the third quarter. Braves in front by 2 scores. Near side, receiver. That's the short side of the field. Wide side left goes Morris. So a man in motion. Rivers on the fly sweep. They had him in the backfield, and then he slipped down and fell. They had him. He broke away, and then when he tried to turn to his right, his feet slipped out from under him, and Sam McKinney came out of the pile, and they've got the football. The official pointed to the Braves side of the field. Is it 1st and 10?
I think he...
Oh, he pointed. I thought the official pointed.
I think he pointed to the ground.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right. So maybe say he was down.
Yeah.
Good job, Andy. Good job, Andy. He was saying he was down. So it's 2nd down and 16. Back at the 45. 2-step drop. Fire is short of the intended receiver. He wouldn't have gotten very much anyway. The intended receiver for Hartsville was Raquan Pendergrass, a 6'3 senior, and the pass was so short he couldn't catch up to it. Ball is back at the 45 of Hartsville. They need to get to the Socastee 37-yard line for the first down. It's going to be 3rd and 16. Wingbacks right and left. Wideouts each way. 5-step drop. Here comes a big rush, a middle screen. It was sniffed out well by Joe Smolinski. No, Finn Melko.
And Smolinski.
Smolinski and Melko sniffed out the middle screen. It picks up about 2, and Hartsville's going to punt.
At 6 minutes, Allen, in the third quarter, this first drive is taking up half a quarter, and they're going to get nothing to show for it.
And they did not, well, they did cross the midfield stripe, but the penalty brought it back onto their half of the field, so they went 45 yards in 6 minutes. And the Braves defense bent but did not break. Here comes the kick. It's a wobbler. Fair catch. No, Sam McKinney makes the catch. Thought he called for a fair catch at around the 28-yard line, but
he should have.
I think he should have too. You're right, Andy. That's why I assumed he did, but he did not. But he did make the catch, and he is immediately felled at the 28-yard line. So it's 21-7. Braves in front, and they get the football for the first time here in the second half with 5 minutes and 42 seconds to play.
Well, the clock is there, friend.
Absolutely, Howard. So the Braves love to have another 6-minute drive and no score by Hartsville. That would be perfect. 5:42, 1st and 10 at the 28. Hunter Renfro, pitch out to Beco. Beco at the 30, 35-40, and he's pushed out of bounds at the 43. 1st and 10, Socastee. Another late pitch to Buck Beco, and Beco picks up 17 and a first down for Socastee.
See, Beco, they're just not used to seeing Buck. He's not on any film they've got.
Buck is faster than I am.
And Buck is much quicker than they thought he was, too.
He is a surprise for sure, and Beco is having a big night. He's in motion here, but they hand on the counter to Delano. Delano off tackle right, and he carries for maybe a yard. We'll give him 2 and call it 2nd down and 8. 5:23 on the rolling clock here in the third quarter. Braves in front, 21-7. Trying to knock out the Hartsville Red Foxes. It would be just their first loss to someone outside their region in 3 years. 21-7. In motion. Delano, Hunter, read option, caught from behind. Nice job defensively by Hartsville right there. That's the best job they've done tonight. Laquan Hagler, who is the Shrine Bowler, no, actually North-South All-Star, outside linebacker for Hartsville, stayed with Hunter on that play.
But Hunter did a great job of not tossing the ball when, he saw what was happening. He tucked the ball and protected it.
Smart play.
Carries for 3 to the 47, make it 48. 3rd down and 5 for Socastee. Need to get to the Hartsville 47. The pass is down low, short of Stephen Gursky. It would not have been a first down had he even caught it, but it's going to be 4th and 5, and the Braves are going to kick it away. Only a 2-minute possession by Socastee right there after Hartsville possessed it for over 6 minutes to start the half.
I don't like that call right there.
Well,
I don't like that play.
When we were on the field,
I just hold my breath.
Hunter nailed that pass the whole time.
Yep. First half, he hit 2 of them.
Yep.
Oh, you mean pregame?
Both.
Yep.
You're right, too.
He hit 2 of those big ones in the first half. Here comes the rush, and Matt gets it again, but that was not a penalty. They fair catch it at the 11-yard line. What a booming kick by Matt Trimby. Trimby's been a weapon tonight, Andy.
He has been a big weapon, and he's kept them where they've had to go the whole field numerous times tonight.
He kicked it, and they were down at the 3-yard line on their first possession. The second half kickoff was down to the 1-yard line, and now they pinned him deep at the 11 on this punt. So 1st and 10, Hartsville at their own 11-yard line, down 14 points. Austin Morris comes wide to the near side right. Man in motion to the left, and that's the trap to McPhail.
They threw a big bag.
Yeah, they fumbled it late, and they recovered it again, and we've got Garrett Melton down deep in the backfield.
Yes.
And Garrett has been a stalwart on that defensive line for the Braves for the last 2 years, and he's going to be attended to. And that'll give me a chance to tell you about the Socastee Eye Clinic post-game wrap-up. Stay tuned following the next quarter for the post-game wrap-up with stats, highlights, and hopefully a preview of next week's opponent. We'll find out who that'll be If the Braves win, they'll face the winner of the Hanahan-Marlboro County game. Marlboro County is the 3 seed out of Region 6. Hanahan is the only other undefeated team in the lower state. The 3rd undefeated team in 3A football is the Daniel Lions in the upstate. But Hanahan's Hawks and Socastee are the only 2 undefeated teams in the lower state.
Hanahan is trailing Marlboro County at halftime, 7-6.
I guaranteed a Marlboro County victory there, by the way.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
And Crestwood is still up 27-21 over Myrtle Beach.
27-21 over the Seahawks. We'll check the North Myrtle Beach score against Strom-Thurmond here momentarily. 2nd down and 6 at the 14-yard line. The give is up the middle, and whistles blew before the play was developed. Well,
there is a flag on the field.
Okay, I was going to say, I didn't see a flag, but
on the other side, he just...
Okay, false start. I thought the whistles blew before that play got underway, but I didn't see the flag. So the side judge on the far side of the field called the false start against Hartsville. And we say again, Andy, pre- and post-snap penalties are devastating.
No question about it. Now we've just got to play some good defense.
2nd down and 12, back at the 9-yard line. And they hand on the fly sweep to Rivers. Rivers turns the corner. He's got running room, and he may outrun the Braves, but Finn Milko catches up to him. It's going to be a 1st down for Hartsville out to the 40-yard line, and Chris Simmons is hobbling off the field for Socastee. He doesn't even make it to the sideline, and he goes down. He'll be attended to by the training staff of the Braves, but Rivers has broken 3 or 4 huge runs, but none that have really cost the Braves in this ballgame. That one bust up the middle for 16 yards is the only score that Hartsville has had tonight. And we've got an injury time out on the field that the Braves have allowed Hartsville to move the football now out to the 41-yard line.
Well, he's a very talented back.
Yes, he is.
Very smart. He does. You said earlier, he waits for the blocking to develop. He follows it. Then when he's in the open field, he's crafty.
We've had 3 Smith-Sapp touchdowns tonight. One by Matt Trimby, his first of the year through the air from Hunter Renfro, and 2 on the ground. One from Kyle Smith and Delano Walters. Smith went in from 3 yards out in the 2nd quarter, and Walters from 15. All 3 of the Socastee touchdowns were in the 2nd period.
I think he's got a cramp.
He does.
Okay, yeah, he came off really hobbling, but yeah, keeping that leg straight. He's got a cramp. So inside 3.5 minutes on the rolling clock now, 3rd quarter, 21-7. Braves in front. Hartsville 1st and 10 at the 41 on their half of the field. Fly sweep to Rivers, and he's hit by Finn Milko and punished.
Finn Milko, big game. He is all over.
Well, there was about 4 people on that one. One of them was Spalinsky. Milko was there, but he wasn't by himself.
Milko stood him up. I mean, he popped him, stood him up, and then he was punished by about 3 other Braves. Andy, you're right. So 2nd down and 9, 1-yard gain. Morris wide to the near side right. Wingbacks left and right. Single set back behind Benjamin. Benjamin 2-step drop, fire out on the left side. Morris finally makes his first catch of the night. It's enough for a 1st down. It's a 10-yard gain to the Socastee 48. And that's as deep as Hartsville has penetrated here in the 2nd half. They got to the Socastee 48 once before.
Got a flag on the field.
And this one's going to go against Hartsville again, I believe. No personal foul face mask against Socastee. So maybe that was on the tackle. I didn't see it.
I didn't see it either.
I did not see a face mask, but
the flag is around the quarterback.
I know. Oh, so maybe it was a face mask in the backfield.
Maybe. I certainly didn't see it.
It's a 15-yarder, too, so a personal foul is going to march the football to the Socastee 33-yard line. 1st and 10, Hartsville. And we've got 2.5 minutes to play in the 3rd period. Just a 2-score game. Socastee in front 21-7. Scored all 21 of their points in the 2nd quarter. We've been scoreless here in the 2nd half, but Hartsville approaching the red zone. 1st and 10, and flags down again. So that'll be another false start. That'll be about the 5th or 6th false start penalty against Hartsville.
Well, we had the ball for, what, under 2 minutes. So they've had the ball all quarter. We're at
almost 10 minutes.
Yeah,
we're at 8.5 minutes.
And they're at the 37-yard line, 38.
Mackenzie Pinckney is in the ball game for Chris Simmons, who is trying to work out that cramp. And Pinckney will guard Morris wide here on the left. Make that on the right. Far side left goes DeQuan Benjamin. And up the middle is Rivers, and he is bottled up right at the line of scrimmage. He gained nothing. So it'll be 2nd down and 15 at the 39. And a penalty flag is going to go against Socastee again. That one was nothing but jawing by one of the Braves to the official.
Coming off the field is Spolinski. If that's him, if that's on him, he might be done for the night.
Well, I was getting ready to say, if it's on him, he'd be done, period, for the night. Whether the official did it or not, whether the official threw him out of the ball game, he would be done for the night. That is unforgivable. It is a 1st and 10. That could be the difference in this game tonight, is the personal or the unsportsmanlike conduct penalties against the Braves. That is the 4th one, and it is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And the Braves are drawn offside by Hartsville.
I think Hartsville moved on that one. Their right guard did.
Well, Angelo Sauter jumped across, and you're right, Howard. It was the false start.
You're pretty safe betting it's a false start. I mean, they've got 10 of them, but he didn't move. You know, we had the problem with penalties last week.
Well, these penalties tonight, these are not penalties of omission. These are just stupid penalties. Irresponsible penalties. Here's a 2-step drop, fired across the middle. It's almost intercepted. Finn Melko. The ball skipped off the receiver's hands, and Finn Melko almost intercepted it and went the other way for a pick 6. But
I would have liked a pick 6, but I would have just liked a pick.
Pick would have been nice. You're absolutely right. It's going to be 2nd down and 15. And the Braves have given up 30 yards on this drive to unsportsmanlike conduct penalties. It's 2nd down and 15 at the Braves' 29-yard line. 21-7, Socastee in front, trying to hold Hartsville off. Here's the counter to Rivers, hit at the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Now keep your mouth shut, Braves. 90 seconds left in the first, or make that 3rd quarter, and we've got a Hartsville player down. It's Rivers. Brian Rivers was bottled up in the heart of that Socastee defense. And I'm going to take time out to cool down it again myself. With 1:26 to play in the 3rd quarter, it's 21-7 Socastee on Sunny 103.1.
My HTC digital cable service connects me to my favorite shows and new release movies with video on demand. So I can watch what I want, when I want, and I can choose from more than 200 channels, including digital movie stars. I'll never miss a play for my favorite team in any season. With HTC, it's a win-win. Because HTC connects me to the things that mean most.
Catch NFL preseason coverage all month long on NFL Network, part of the Passport package for only $10 per month. Call HTC at 843-369-8961.
HTC, this is life. Connect with it.
Brought to you by HTC. This is life. Connect with it.
Brian Rivers has a cramp as well, so not a serious injury. But Howard, how about check the HTC scoreboard for us as the playoffs, 4A playoffs begin their first week, 3A playoffs in the 2nd week, and we have 2 teams after finals.
It's going to be 20-14. Trench Liberty is going to be 27-21. Roberta County Cunningham 10-6.
Here's the 3rd down and 15 from the 29-yard line. Socastee's got 8 men in the box now. pass downfield. Chris Simmons, the catch is made for a touchdown for Hartsville. Austin Morris and Chris Simmons were battling as the ball was in the air. Simmons never turned around and looked back for it. Morris makes his second catch of the night, and it's enough for the touchdown from 29 yards away.
If Simmons turns around, he knocks the ball down.
Yep. He never looked back for the football, and Morris watched it all the way in. The 5'11", 160-pound junior draws the Red Foxes to within a score with 1:15 to play in the third period. 21-13, Hartsville. The hold. Here's the snap, the place, the kick is up, and this one is good. So it's 21-14. A one-touchdown ball game. The Foxes have drawn first blood here in the second half, but it took them 11 minutes and 45 seconds. Make that 10 minutes and 45 seconds to do it in the quarter, and the Braves will have it when we return on Sunny 103.1.
Lakewood Camping Resort, Myrtle Beach's first campground, continues to get better. A new action-packed water park with multiple slides and relaxing lazy river was just added. Spread over 200 acres with 2,000 campsites and over 100 rental villas, Lakewood Camping Resort is located oceanfront at 5901 South Kings Highway and features electrical, water, and cable hookups, free Wi-Fi, and so much more. The Lakewood Conference Center is perfect for private and holiday parties. Locals are always welcome to join us for an awesome staycation. Call Lakewood Camping Resort at 238-5161.
Brought to you by Myrtle Beach Chevrolet.
Hartsville approaches the football. It's a high, very short kick, and it's going to be caught and brought upfield to the 40 by Socastee's Stephen Gursky, I believe. It was Gursky to the 40-yard line, and that was an 89-yard touchdown drive by Hartsville. The final 29 yards on a DeQuan Benjamin to Austin Morris pass, but it was aided by 30 yards of unsportsmanlike conduct penalties by the Braves. So the Braves, who scored all three of their touchdowns in the second quarter, will have the football with $1:12, make that $1:11 to play here in the third quarter.
They've only had one possession, though, in this quarter.
Yes, they have. That's right. Hartsville has controlled the time of possession. Here's the pitch. It is a fumble. Make that Delano Walters. The pitch was low, and he had to fall on it back at the 35-yard line. So it's a 5-yard loss, second down and 15.
Well, looks like the Hartsville defense is starting to rattle with their mouths. Our offense, getting them a little off.
Yeah, Hartsville's chippiness is mostly in the mouthing part of it, and the Hartsville defense, Dwayne McDaniel, big tackle in the backfield on the pitch, and another 5-yard loss back to the 30. So it's going to be 3rd and 20 at the 30-yard line. They need to get to the midfield stripe for a first down. Hunter Renfro out of the shotgun. Clock is inside 10 seconds to play in the third period. They're going to run it. Hunter Renfro trying to get outside, and he's spun down on the final play of the third quarter. It is 21-14. Hartsville has clawed back into it, and Hartsville, they are jawing with Delano Walters again. They have been mouthing off all night long, and they have caused the Braves to retaliate, and 3 times they've been called for unsportsmanlike conduct penalties. And we're going to take time out. We'll be back in 90 seconds on Sunny 103.1.
At Driftwood Seafood and Steak, we're family-owned and operated, so we offer the same quality and service you'd expect from your family. Located on Highway 707 in the St. James Plaza, we want our locals and repeat customers to experience that special touch, which includes the most extensive early bird menu on the Grand Strand. And all of our dishes are made with fresh, natural ingredients from local seafood markets and farms. Open daily at 4 p.m. Visit our website, driftwoodsmerlesinlet.com, for special coupons. Casual, southern hospitality at Driftwood Seafood and Steak.
Lakewood Lakewood Camping Resort, Myrtle Beach's first campground, continues to get better. A new action-packed water park with multiple slides and relaxing lazy river was just added. Spread over 200 acres with 2,000 campsites and over 100 rental villas, Lakewood Camping Resort is located oceanfront at 5901 South Kings Highway and features electrical, water, and cable hookups, free Wi-Fi, and so much more. The Lakewood Conference Center is perfect for private and holiday parties. Locals are always welcome to join us for an awesome staycation. Call Lakewood Camping Resort at 238-5161.
The South Carolina Gamecocks are on Sunny 103.1. Here come the Gamecocks. The next step.
4 years in a row over the Crimson Tigers. Carolina just stepped on the Dogs on their way up the SEC ladder.
The next moment.
J.D. Clowney.
That's a nice little statement for the Heisman.
Littlefield is zone. Carolina Thompson comes off the bench.
Hear it on your home for Carolina football. The Gamecocks are on Sunny 103.1.
Brought to you by HTC. This is live. Connect with it.
First play of the fourth quarter, a Matt Trimby punt. The snap was very high. Trimby came down with it and finally got it away, or barely got it away, and a fair catch is called for at the 40-yard line of Hartsville. So they'll bring Morris wide to the near side. Chris Simmons again guarding him. Braves putting 7 men right in the middle of the box. And they're trying to stop that fly sweep by Rivers. Angelo Sauter on the top of it.
That was McKinney on the tackle.
Yep,
that time.
Sam
Great
McKinney
job.
underneath and Angelo Sauter up top.
You know, nobody thought, at least up here in the booth, that this would be a blowout.
No.
We knew it was going to be a great game, and that's what we're getting.
And I thought it would be I thought it would be a low-scoring affair as well. Neither team, both teams' defense very good, offense methodical, and right now it's second down and 9, 21-14. Socastee comes in, trying to get they've got a holding penalty against Hartsville. This one's going to come back. It's a big gainer by the quarterback. He broke away from the rush. The rush should have had him 5 yards deep, but he found a seam, and then Hartsville held on for dear life to allow Benjamin to pick up 20 yards, but it's all going to come back.
Looks like they called the hold on McPhail.
Yeah, it's going to be a chop block at the knees by the running back, so that is a 15-yard penalty.
Is it lost down too?
I don't think so. But the chop block is a terrible call. Terrible for Hartsville. A hold would just been 10 yards, but the chop block is a 15-yard personal foul, so it's going to be second down and 25 back at the 30, make that 27-yard line. Second down, 25, down by a score, 21-14. Hartsville. They give on the counter to Rivers. Make that, Brian Rivers. Rivers gains a yard to the 28. So it's going to be third and we'll call it 24. They need to get to the 49 of Socastee. They're right at the 29 of Hartsville. So we'll call it 22. Third and 22 for Hartsville with 10:22 on the rolling clock here in the fourth quarter. 21-14. Possession down for the Braves defense.
Got to make the stop.
Going to be a two-step drop pass, I would predict. There it is. Play action. They get him in the backfield.
Smolinski.
Joe Smolinski and Finn Melko. No, Angelo Sauter. Smolinski and Sauter with a sack in the backfield on third down and 22. It's going to be 4th and 30. So Hartsville's going to punt it away, down by a score, and the clock continuing to roll with 9:45, 43, 42, 41, and Hartsville's taking forever to snap this football. Here's the snap. It's low. The kick is away. It's short. It's a wobbler. It's going to land in Hartsville territory, take a huge Red Fox bounce, and into Socastee, half of the field at the 49. So 1st and 10 Braves at the 49-yard line. A score, any kind of score right here with some time off the clock would be a godsend for the Braves' playoff hopes here in the third quarter.
As you say, Alan, it would be huge.
Huge. Yes, we do. Say that often. Matt Trimby wide to the left. 21-14, Braves in front. 9:27 to play in the ball game. Braves with it on their own 49-yard line. Out of the shotgun, Hunter Renfro looking for a pass downfield. He's got Gursky, and he had it in his hands. He would have made the catch. Probably would not have gained any more yards, but he had it in his palms but could not bring it in. It was not defended very well by Hartsville. Raquan Cotton was in coverage, but Gursky had that one in his hands. He should have made the catch. It'll be 2nd down and 10 at the 49. But that stops the clock with 9:22 to play in the football game. Hunter is in the shotgun again with a single back set. Wing back to the right. Got a man open. Hunter Renfro on the read option falls down at the 50. They had the right play call.
Great job not to lose yards on that play.
Had the right play call. He faked it to Delano Walters, and Hunter slipped as he tried to cut it into the teeth of the defense at the midfield stripe and went right down. So it's going to be 3rd and 9. We don't need to give this football back this quickly. First down would be huge. 3rd down and 9. Football lays flush on the midfield line on the 50. 3rd and 9. Braves fans come to their feet. Hunter, read option, gets chased into the backfield, and he's going to be sacked. 1 yard loss back to the 49 again, so no yardage gained on that possession by the Braves, but the clock rolls inside 8.5 to play in the football game. Hartsville is still down by a touchdown, and Shai Phillips will go back to receive the kick from Matt Trimby. Need no shenanigans, no funny business right here. Just get a good kick, and Trimby has been perfect doing that tonight. The snap is high again, and he comes down with it, kicks it down the middle of the field. What a nice job. Hartsville makes the catch, and we got a penalty flag down, a block in the back, obviously. Hartsville, the snap for the 3rd straight time was very, very high, and this time Matt did all he could do to come down with possession. The penalty is going to be a block in the back, I believe, against Hartsville. But that is not what the Braves needed right there, and Hartsville almost committed a mortal sin by kneeling the football when the kick was made. Trimby did just a remarkable job to get that football out of there.
He did a great job to get rid of it, that's for sure.
Block in the back on the return by Hartsville, so it's basically
where we had the ball.
A nullification. No, now they're going to mark a personal foul against Hartsville. So not only do they get a block in the back penalty, they add to that a 15-yarder back to the 35. It would have been a nullification of the play. It was going to be 1st and 10 at the 50, but a personal foul. Well, what's good for the goose is good for the gander, I guess. Back to the 35 of Hartsville.
And they've been getting away with some of those sheepies
all night.
All night.
No doubt. 7:52 to play in the ball game. 21-14, Socastee in front. Wide out to the near side left. Hartsville moves from right to left in motion to the near side. 2-step drop. Quarterback is hit in the backfield. Then he spins away. He's still on his feet and picks up almost a 1st down when he should have been sacked for a 10-yard loss.
We went for the ball instead of the sack.
Should have been a 10-yard loss, but instead it's a 9-yard gain, and it's going to be 2nd down and 1 at the 44-yard line.
Yeah, we had 3 people to miss him.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, they went for the ball, trying to hit it out of his hands.
Clock rolls, 7.5 to play. Man in motion, backs up, fire downfield, pass is caught by Morris. No, excuse me. That's
Hance.
Okay.
Ryan
Hance, the tight end. And that's his first catch tonight. It's a 1st down for Hartsville into Braves territory at the 46. And Hartsville is going to bring make that to Morris wide to the near side. Down by 7 with 7 minutes exactly to play in the ball game. in motion. They give off to Arian Dudley, and Dudley finds a hole. Pulled down at the 39.
Great tackle by Finn Melko.
Now, that was too big a hole. Hartsville now just eating up chunks after the Braves should have had several tackles. I mean, Hartsville has gotten all the breaks tonight, but a couple of personal foul penalties have given Socastee life here on this possession. Chris Simmons, and now we've got a timeout, official timeout, with 6:27 to play in the ball game. Braves lead it by a touchdown. They restart the clock. And Hartsville has it 2nd down and 4 at the 39-yard line. Socastee players on the sideline want the Brave fans to come to their feet. A little wave of the arms. And the give is right up the middle. 1st down and a lot more. And that is Shy McPhail. Shy McPhail, dead up the middle, takes it to the Socastee 21-yard line. Make it 22, 1st and 10.
Once again, it was Finn Melko who came rushing in from his outside linebacker position. If it hadn't been for that, he might have still been running.
Inside 6 minutes now. In motion. They give up the middle. Rivers is hit as soon as he catches the football, or as soon as he's handed the football, and Joe Smolinski pummels him at the line of scrimmage. And that was McPhail again. Rivers has been taken out of the ball game. Maybe that cramp has worked him up. But Shy McPhail, the 5'6", 165-pound sophomore, is toting the mail right now. Rivers is back in the ball game. He's at the wing back right. McPhail is the single setback behind the quarterback. Benjamin in motion on the fly sweep. That's to Dudley, and a false start against Hartsville. Going to back him up again.
Any type of stop here that's not a touchdown would be huge. Turnover,
absolutely.
Field goal.
Yeah, we need to get a stop. Stop, period. Stop, period.
Turnover.
Yeah. And a 5-yard penalty is going to make it 2nd down, and we'll call it 15. They lost a yard on that first play, but we'll say it's 2nd and 15 and a half.
And they're in 4-down territory, guys.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. 5 minutes exactly to play. 21-14, Hartsville in motion on the counter give to McPhail. Or make that Dudley. Arian Dudley gets back the 5 yards they lost on the penalty, gained another 2, make it 3. It'll be 3rd down and 7. So the Braves have two downs right here to make a huge stop, the biggest of the night. These 2 plays are the biggest 2 plays the Braves will have all night long. 4.5 minutes to play. Socastee fans on their feet. 21-14. Inside, 4.5. 2-step drop. Here comes the pass. It's caught at the 10, the 5, down to the 1.
Tackled by Hunter Renfro.
Hunter Renfro makes the stop, but that pass was perfect. To Ryan Hance again, the tight end. He has been open on that side of the field. 6 foot, 185-pound senior. Down to 4:24. 1st and goal at the 2-yard line. In motion. They give up the middle. Touchdown, Hartsville. Well, they haven't made the signal yet. And McPhail saying he was in the end zone. I thought he was, too.
Yeah, I did, too.
It is a touchdown. They finally, after 30 seconds, and the ball carrier came all the way over to the sideline and asked the official, hey, I got in, and I thought he did. So
it appeared to be obvious.
Yeah, I thought he was in, but neither official made the call. Then finally, they make the call after about 30 seconds, and the extra point.
We better be careful right here.
Tie this. Sam Williamson trying to add the PAT. And a penalty flag. Did Hartsville move?
Or did we get in the neutral zone?
Well, it's going to be against Socastee, it appears. The way Hartsville's fans are the way Hartsville. No, unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. Oh, my God. That is the 5th unsportsmanlike conduct penalty tonight. The 5th one.
Who was that on?
I have no idea, but they called it on Socastee, and I think Hartsville is thinking about going for 2 here. And if they go for 2, they can take the lead and win the football game if they can hold the Braves out of the end zone or away from a score. And I think Doug Illing is beside himself. I don't know who they called it on. I wish we had it's times like this, I wish we had an announcer on the field to determine who the penalty flag was on, but we have no idea. But it was an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. It was obviously somebody chirping, but have no idea. The Braves have been shut out here in the second half. And Hartsville is an extra point away from tying, or a 2-point conversion away from taking the lead. And they're going to go for 2. And Doug Illing wants a full report from the White Hat, who the penalty was on and why. And finally, they give him the explanation that he wanted. And here's the PAT to either tie or take the lead. They're going to go for 2. They're going to try to take the lead for the first time in the second half right here.
Wow.
On a 2-point conversion.
This is it.
So up under center, Daquan Benjamin. Wingbacks right and left. Man in motion. They give it to Rivers, and he is stopped. He is stopped.
That was McPhail. That was McPhail, and he was stopped.
McPhail is stopped short of the goal line.
Wow.
Going for 2 from the 1.5.
Wow, is all I can say.
The Socastee defense on the trap. McPhail, who ran it in from 3 yards out. The 2-point conversion is no good, and the Braves still lead it 21-20 with 4 minutes and 5 seconds remaining in the football game. And all that means is the Braves have to have a sustained drive here.
Well, we got to get the kick.
Well, they're not going to onside kick. They're going to kick it away and try to hold the Socastee Braves defensively. They have done it all night long defensively. Why wouldn't they do it now? There's no way they onside kick here. If they do, Jeff Calabrese is more of a man than I thought. They kick it high, and it's going to be caught again by the Braves. Steven Gursky at the 30, 35, and out to the 38-yard line. So the Braves have good field position again. We're inside 4 minutes to play now. In the football game, the Braves lead it 21-20 on a failed 2-point conversion attempt by Hartsville. Their season could come to an end from 1.5 yards out.
I give them credit, though. On the road, go for the win.
Yep. Season could come to an end, though. I think I'd have kicked that extra point and played my heart out the rest of the way. Kyle Smith on the dive off tackle left, picks up 2. It's going to be 2nd down and 8 at the 38-yard line. Well, 2nd down and 9. He only gave him credit for 1. Now this is going to need, the Braves need to keep possession as long as humanly possible right here. If they can run the clock out. Carolina, or make that, Charleston Southern did this to Coastal Carolina last weekend when they knocked off the undefeated Chanticleers. They just ran 6.5 minutes off the clock and kept Coastal from getting the football back at the end of the game. Hunter Renfro keeps it himself. He's got the first down for the Braves into Hartsville territory on the read option. 15-yard pickup to the 48 of Hartsville, and that was huge, Andy.
That was huge. That was huge, Alan.
You talked about it earlier with Kyle Smith running the ball in the middle and what it would do to the line if we kept it close. And now is when you hope to see that pay benefits.
Thank you, Howard. And Matt Trimby with the clock inside 3 minutes now. Max Joseph tied in to the near side right with Bacot this way. Kyle Smith, single setback, in motion. Delano Walters sweeping it to him at the 50. He's at the 45.
Don't go out of bounds.
Out of bounds at the 41.
Delano.
Stops the clock with 2:43 to play.
That's okay.
But it is a 7-yard gain. So 2nd down and 3 at the 42-yard line. 21-20, Socastee in front. 2-point conversion attempt by Hartsville failed. The Braves bottled it up, stopped the run up the middle by McPhail, and they lead it by 1. In motion, Bacot. They hand to Smith. Smith up the middle. They're trying to pull the football out, but Kyle covers it up. He's inside the 40 to the 39, and that's a first down, Braves.
That should be pretty close.
A first down.
That is a first down all the way. They won't even have to measure that one.
They're going to, though.
Well, I got bad eyes now, Andy, but I can tell from here that is no question that's a first down. But with 2 minutes and 38 seconds left, you know that Jeff Calabrese will probably call for the measurement. And why not? It stops the clock. Yeah. Calabrese wants a timeout. It stops the clock. But they'll restart it once they remark the flags. There's no, that is more. Wow. Are you kidding me? That is a half a football short. That was, well, my eyes are worse than I thought, Andy.
Well,
maybe that was wishful thinking, looking at that, where the football is.
Well, that's why I said it has a lot to do with where they, where they spot that ball.
Mm-hmm. I really thought, where they spotted the ball, I thought it was enough. But, again, my wishful eyes, Howard. My wishful eyes.
As they say on ESPN, the yellow line is not official.
That's exactly right.
Of course, we don't have a yellow line, but I've always wanted to say
Well, it's 3rd down and less than a yard. And you can bet they're going to get a dose of number 33 right here.
I don't know.
Well, Hunter Renfro is taking his time, and as well he should. He's just waiting, letting that clock run inside 2.5. And now, or is he going to call timeout?
Waiting for the ref to signal.
All right, well, don't want to get a delay of game. Hunter keeps it himself and gets the first down.
I don't know.
And a penalty flag. Penalty flag in.
Face mask.
I think you're right, Andy. That was from the back judge. A face mask could mark it 15 yards downfield, and that might all but do it. Hartsville does have 2 timeouts. A personal foul, face mask, first down for the Braves. All the way to the Hartsville 25-yard line. I think, well, where they marked it, you're right, Howard, it might not have been a first down.
It was a horrible spot.
It was a terrible spot, but it's a Brave first down because of the face mask on the Hunter Renfro read option.
That's what I'd call.
Okay.
Hunter Renfro left and Hunter Renfro right now.
Good job, Andy. All right, 1st and 10, Braves leading it by 1 as the clock ticks inside 2 minutes to play in the football game. Hunter Renfro eating every single second that he can off the clock. Renfro, after a failed 2-point conversion for Hartsville, the Braves are eating every bit of it. Kyle Smith up the middle, holds on to the football, tackled, but a 5-yard gain to the 22. So it's going to be a 4-yard gain. It's going to make it 2nd down and 6. Well, they only gave him credit for about 3. So 2nd down and 7 at the 23-yard line. Inside 1.5 minutes. And Hartsville is trying to hold on to those timeouts, I guess. Down to the final minute. But Hunter Renfro is going to let that clock run as far as he can. They give it to Kyle again. He hangs on down to the 20. 3 more. And a timeout. Hartsville finally uses one of their 2 timeouts remaining with 70 seconds left in the football game. It's 21-20. Socastee has not scored here in the second half, but they have held Hartsville out of the end zone on that 2-point conversion. They scored on a short field, a 3-yard run by Shy McPhail. The Braves were called for a unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, which moved the football to the 1.5-yard line. So Hartsville elected to put their offense back on the field and go for 2. Go for the win. with 4 minutes and 5 seconds left in the football game, or go for the lead anyway, and they could not get it in the house, and the Braves hold a 21-20 lead with 1 minute 10 seconds to play in the football game. Timeout Hartsville. They only have one remaining. Alan Smothers, Andy Lanier, Howard Henry with you. Hartsville knocked Socastee out of the playoffs last year, 40-13 on this field in the semifinals of the lower state playoffs. Here in the second round of the lower state playoffs, Socastee's trying to return the favor. They play at home throughout the lower state. They do not have to leave the reservation as long as they win until the state championship game. With 1 minute 10 seconds to play, the ball is put in play. Delano Walters goes in motion, then stops to dot the I. They give it to Kyle once more. Nope. Hunter Renfro kept it himself this time on the read option, and he ducked it right into the teeth of that defensive line, and Hartsville calls their final timeout with 1:08 to play in the football game. They are just looking to get possession back. It is 4th down and 5 from the 20. And so Socastee needs to pick up a first down, and that will be the ball game. All they need is 5 yards, but it is the biggest 5 yards these Braves have ever accomplished.
So you go for the first versus kick?
What do you think, Andy?
Kick it.
You wouldn't kick it?
No, because if worse comes to worse,
I didn't even think about a kick. I'm sorry, Howard.
They're going to have the ball inside the 20-yard line. You kick off to them, they could run it back. And they got a couple guys that can fly.
No doubt.
Or you can kick it out of bounds. I don't know.
That's the thought.
I like the thought that you...
But what if they block? What if they block a field goal?
I tell you what, I like the field goal attempt, though, too, Howard, because it makes them
have to
score a touchdown.
That's right.
And
I agree with that.
They're going to go for it on 4th down and 5. No field goal attempt.
That's why I'm the radio guy.
Yeah, me too. 1 minute and 8 seconds. It's going to be a Hunter Renfro read option, you can bet. Here's the pitch. Oh, my goodness. A timeout or a penalty?
No, a penalty. There's a flag on the field.
And if it stopped the play, it's going to be against Socastee. A false start penalty is going to back it up 5 yards.
No way.
So it's going to be 4th and 10 now. And that pitch sweep looked like it was set up very well for Delano Walters.
They're going to kick it now.
Yep. Well, no, that's Gursky. Gursky's coming in, not Trinity.
Not 16.
Yeah, that's 15. So Gursky's going to come in and split it wide to the right side. Ain't no way in heck I would throw this ball. I would run this thing and make them come onto the field, change possessions with no timeouts. Hartsville has no timeouts left. 1 minute 8 to play in the ball game. 21-20. Socastee in front by a point. They have it 4th down and 10 at the 25-yard line. Pitch sweep is a fumble. It's fumbled, but it's fallen on by Delano Walters. My heart almost stopped, Andy. My heart almost came to a beating stop when that ball, because it was rolling free and there were several white shirts around it. But Delano Walters, God bless him, fell on the football. It's going to turn it over on downs, but Hartsville now has only 1 minute and 3 seconds and no timeouts. All they need is a score. 21-20. Back to pass. That pass is caught by Morris. He's got plenty of running room up the middle. He's got a runner out to the 49-yard line of Hartsville. They have no timeouts, so they first down will mark the sticks, but it'll start again with 54 seconds to play. That was a screen pass, little bubble screen to the wide receiver, Austin Morris. Morris.
Hey, man, those are our guys on the sticks over there. What's taking them so long?
And the pass is caught, and it is short of the first down. The clock will continue to roll. It is short of the first down. 40 seconds left. It's going to be 2nd down and 5 at the Socastee 44. I don't think they're going to have time enough to get a field goal unit out there, even if they get inside field goal range. The pass is caught again. He breaks it away down to the 30. Inside the 30 and out of bounds at the 28-yard line.
And now they're in field goal range.
With 25 seconds to play in the football game. 21-20. Braves in front by 1. Hartsville trying to score. They had a failed 2-point conversion to keep them from taking the lead or tying it up. Wide out to the near side is Austin Morris. Wide to the far side is Hance. 1st and 10 at the Socastee 28.
Flag.
Pass is incomplete, but a flag against Hartsville. False start is going to back them up 5 yards.
That's big 5 yards on the kick.
Yeah. But I'm telling you, I don't know if they don't get out of bounds, if they're going to have time to get their field goal unit on the field.
I agree. 25 seconds.
25 seconds. They either need to get a pass out of bounds inside the 15.
We need a sack right
sack
now.
would be
That
huge.
would be gigantic.
Gigantic, enormous, and near side. Hartsville, Raquan Pendergrass, and we've got a equipment malfunction by Garrett Morris.
Oh, Lord, Milton.
I'm sorry, did I say? Yeah, Garrett Melton. Melton's coming out of the ball game. There's something wrong with him. So they'll replace him with 25 seconds remaining. 21-20. Socastee in front by a point. Ball at the 31-yard line. 1st and 15. Back to pass. He's got a man wide open on the left side of the field, and we've got a sack. Socastee sacks him.
Got him.
Back at the 37-yard line.
15 seconds on the clock.
And they cannot stop the clock. They cannot stop it. Get on your side of the field. What in the hell is... I can't believe that Socastee... Richard Cherry, what are you doing? What are you doing, Richard?
That's all right. That's right. They spiked it. 3 seconds on the clock.
One play.
One play.
Well, they got to go for the house.
They're at the 36.
And it's going to be 3rd down and 20 at the 37-yard line.
But 3 seconds.
With 3 seconds to play. 21-20. Braves in front by a point. And why they cannot, or the Braves have hurt themselves all night long with penalties. They cannot commit one here. The game will not end on a defensive penalty. 3 seconds left. 21-20. Back to pass. He's going to go for the house. It's downfield. The only man that's there is Hunter Renfro with the interception. Game over. Game over. Game over. Braves win it on the Hunter Renfro interception. 21-20. The Hartsville season is over because they went for a 2-point conversion and missed. The Braves defense held after 5, count them, 5 unsportsmanlike conduct penalties tonight, kept the Hartsville Red Foxes in this game, and the Braves are moving on to the next round. 21-20 over the Hartsville Red Foxes. Their season comes to an end after a 15-0 regular season last year and a state championship that ended the Braves season. This year, the Braves return the favor and back with the Socastee Eye Clinic. Post-game wrap-up. 21-20 is your final. Socastee defeats Hartsville on Sunny 103.1.
At Drift